Gentlemen, on that note, let's move on to fan favorites, shout outs and rants. We're going to keep the same order. So, Mr. Armstrong, do you have a shout out and or rant for us today?
I have a shout out, and one of our panel may need to close his ears. I've had the privilege of knowing Jay for many years now, and obviously we've done about 120 of these events together, but I've also seen the man in action. I've seen him work a room, and I know that he cares about these issues and he's very knowledgeable about them. Jay is currently in transition. Many corporations on this call have a Jay Rosen sized hole in their organizations. If that is you, give the man a call.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Wow. I think we just had our greatest shout out ever. I'm not sure where we can go from there.
I'll second that.
Wow. Excellent. Matt, I hate to say the bar is probably way beyond 20 feet, but what do you got for us?
I would give some sort of, I guess I'll call it a shout to the Securities and Exchange Commission for reminding us the importance of turning on two-factor authentication for all of your apps when the SEC account got hacked here this week by some knucklehead, and it got hacked because, according to Twitter, which I will refuse to call it, according to Twitter, the SEC turned multi-factor authentication on for its Twitter, leading some clever knucklehead out to hack into the SEC account and announce, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday afternoon, that the following day, the SEC would authorize Bitcoin ETFs, which the Bitcoin people have been crying for years. Suddenly, the value of Bitcoin promptly spiked, and this is all false. So Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, had to get on his own Twitter account. I presume he uses MFA personally. So that makes me, why would the chairman be using two-factor authentication account and not ask our commission or the agency's account? But anyways, Chairman Gensler had to get on Twitter himself and say, no, this is not true. So the price of Bitcoin promptly crashed. And to make things all the more comical, in fact, the SEC was going to allow Bitcoin ETFs, and they did fall on their own website the next day. So I guess back up, I don't know. Good Lord, this is an entity that is in charge of managing the U.S. capital markets. Cybersecurity, a big thing in modern day commercial reporting. The SEC cybersecurity all the time. They compel major cybersecurity incidents. The Act, the new cybersecurity disclosure rule they just adopted a couple of months ago, which went in last month, it actually does not require multi-factor authentication. That would be New York State's Department of Financial Services. They have a rule that does for banks in New York. But this, I don't know whether to cry or just be utterly speechless. Apparently not the last, because I've been talking minutes about this. But thank you, SC, looking like idiots because you were, and reminding the rest of us to turn on multi-factor authentication. So what happened to the agency, to your own corporate organization? Good.
Jonathan Marks.
I'm ranting today, Tom. Rant goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think you mentioned that at the top of the show, for putting on an abysmal product for the last 17 weeks, because we are the worst 11-6 team in the NFL, and I think the worst 11-6 team in history. I do not have high hopes for Monday night. Yes, I'm a fan. I hope that they win the Super Bowl, but I'm also a pragmatist, and I really just don't see it. I don't know how they can let this go on so long. I question ownership, and we'll see. But it's deplorable.
Jay Rosen.
So I'll have to keep with the football theme. This probably might be the last time I can talk about the hoodie himself, but I want to give a shout out to Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots for allowing their former coach, Bill Belichick, the hoodie, to leave Foxborough with his 2024 salary in hand. Now, New England could have tried to monetize Belichick's contract and use it as leverage to negotiate his release, but sport pundits are saying that it's due to the culture of the team, the culture that Kraft and his son have inculcated into the company. And this is an approach that Kraft takes with any kind of business he's doing, whether it's the NFL, Patriots, or companies they own. So well done, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. Best of luck to wherever you go.
I am going to shout out to the University of Michigan, the 2024 College National Football Champions. As Hail to the Victors tells us, Michigan is not only the champions of the West, we're the champions of the entire U.S. college football scene. 15-0, go blue. Gentlemen, what a great show. And we got to give a kudos to Mr. Armstrong for that incredible shout out one more time. I can't wait to see what next time brings us.
Thanks, guys.
Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Everything Compliance, Shoutouts, and Rants. Everything Compliance, the full episode will post on Thursday, January 18th. I hope you will check it out. If you've enjoyed this episode, I hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review wherever great podcasts are listened to. Everything Compliance, Shoutouts, and Rants is a special production of the Compliance Podcast Network.